Did you know that as many as 50% of adults in the Western world suffer from some kind of emotional or mental health issue, but only a tiny minority actually seek any kind of professional help? Now, there are a bunch of reasons for this, and one of them is that it's only in recent years that mental health has become a hot topic, and men in particular are not particularly good at admitting that they're not doing okay. And I want to give you a handful of reasons why it's a good idea to seek professional help if you're suffering from any kind of emotional or mental health issue, or you're a self-saboteur. Now, the first one, and possibly even the most important, is that you get access to support in a safe, supportive environment where there is no judgment, no argument. You get to express your feelings, your concerns, your worries, your anxieties with somebody who is trained to just let you express, with no coming back to you with, arguments, accusations, or any kind of blame. You just get the space to express. And for many people, that's a big, big deal. I know that in my marriage, my now ex-wife and I were not particularly good at sharing our fears, emotions, and anxieties. And it really, was a big, big contributor to the breakdown in our relationship. And it makes me sad looking back. Kind of one of those things I wish I knew back then what I know now. Now, another good reason is an improved well-being. Talking things over with a therapist or a counsellor can improve your mood, improve your energy levels, and give you a greater sense of overall well-being. Because if you're unable to express yourself with other people you know, talking to someone who doesn't know you and is completely objective can have massive, massive benefits. Another benefit is coming up with coping or managing mechanisms, enabling you to more readily deal with stress, deal with anxiety, and deal with difficult emotions. Now, this for many is a fantastic starting point, because if you can begin to manage this stuff, then you can begin to put it under the spotlight and ultimately begin to improve it. But if your emotions, your stress, your anxiety are out of control, please get help. It will benefit you greatly in the short term and can have serious long-term beneficial effects. Now, a big deal about getting help is that it can help you to identify the underlying root causes of your issues. When I started therapy just over a year ago in early 2024, I realized, I was helped to realize that a lot of my issues stem from being neglected when I was young. Not physical neglect, but emotional neglect. And that's led to some quite serious issues, becoming literally a career self-saboteur, self-sabotager, being unable to form proper relationships, being unable to being honest with my emotions, etc. And a whole kettle of fish. So it will enable you to look at the root causes of what's going on and then begin to work out methods and strategies for beginning to unravel this. Now, this could take some time, and you have to be prepared to be patient, because if it's taken you a lifetime to get to where you are, you ain't going to fix it in 2 weeks. So whilst it may take you, some time, it's worth bearing this in mind, and it's worth sticking with it. I only had therapy for a few sessions with my therapist, Chris, but it began a journey. So this is a big deal. Your underlying issues are things that can keep you where you are. So being able to identify and then ultimately being able to tackle these is a major, major step forward. Another biggie, and something I wish I'd known a long, long time ago, is that getting help can lead to better relationships. When you become a better person, have a better relationship with yourself, I promise you the knock-on effect is that you will have better relationships with everyone around you, those you love and those who love you. It starts with you, whether you like it or realize it or not. So yes, you become a better version of you, you become a more loving, caring, considerate version of you, and well, it can only be a good thing. Now, something else which therapy definitely helps with, and it helped me for sure, is to stop things from getting worse by identifying what's going wrong, some of why it's going wrong, and how you can cope and manage what's going wrong. It helps things from stops things from getting worse. It becomes okay, the status quo ain't great, let's at the very least just stay where we are and then begin to work on making things better. But it can literally stop things from getting worse, being your own worst enemy. And finally, getting therapy can also help with providing you access to medication. Some people do need therapy, and some people are helped when supplementing that with medication. In 2008, I was diagnosed with depression. Now, unfortunately, at the time, I couldn't afford any kind of therapy or help. There wasn't a great deal available on the health service in the UK, but they gave me Prozac. And I know that it works for a lot of people. It certainly didn't work for me. It made me just numb to everything. Couldn't feel the highs, couldn't feel the lows, couldn't feel happy, couldn't feel sad. I felt numb. So I stopped taking it. I've never taken medication since. But that's my story. Your story may be different. So don't neglect or don't overlook the possibility that medication could help, and having access to a health professional who can prescribe an appropriate medication can be really, really beneficial. Sadly, large numbers of people are on antidepressants, particularly in the UK and especially in America. And sadly, antidepressants don't tackle issues. They don't tackle what's between the ears. They don't tackle anxiety. They just take away the pain. So medication can help. I'm not a huge fan of it personally, but that's not a recommendation. That's my experience. So yes, getting help is worth doing. Even if you have to pay for it. I found it incredibly beneficial. I found it worth every single penny that I paid. And as soon as I can, I'm going to go back to that, because I know that it helps, and it can speed up your recovery from mental health issues and begin to unpack an awful lot of things to make you, your life, your surroundings, your relationships, everything better. So got questions or comments, please, I'd love to hear from you. Remember, subscribe to the channel.